Thank you very much, guys. And yeah, I'm here with Doublelift, who just helped Team Liquid take down TSM. You were pretty exuberant after that win. Were you expecting, I know there was a lot of jabbing going back and forth, were you expecting to win this game?
Of course not, dude. We're the 9th place team. I mean, last week we went 0-2 to P1 and Dig, and I was like, obviously we're all trying super hard, and like we try to make practice as efficient as possible and stuff. But I think this game, everyone just stepped up super hard, and I felt like super in control all 3 of the games because TSM's bowling played really bad. And so like I think our games were just easier than like the other, like from my perspective, easier than like the P1 and Dig games.
And it's interesting to think of as well because you're going up against your former team who you've been pretty vocal about wanting to jump back to. Was this a statement game for you, trying to show TSM what they're potentially missing? Was that in your mind as well, or is it right now all about trying to make sure Team Liquid finishes 8th place?
Oh, wow. I honestly, beating my former teammates is like, it's pretty nice, you know, because they're my friends. But like, I think the biggest thing is just helping TL avoid relegations because that's what I came back to do. That was my goal. And it's like, if I can't accomplish that and I beat my friends along the way, then it was all meaningless anyways.
Yeah. In the post-game chats, any fun words you exchanged with the old TSM teammates after this one, or was it pretty much just about conferring with your Team Liquid team after the win?
Oh, no way. I'm just focused on doing well right now. Like, we did barely talk. Bjerg said, you played well, and I was like, I know. But I didn't say that. But I was like, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, I mean, I can worry about that later. But for now, I'm just worried about, and I'm focused on Team Liquid.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you guys play up against FlyQuest tomorrow. If you win, you avoid relegation. How's the team obviously feeling right after this win, and how was the week leading up to this final week 9?
Oh, my God. Everything was really shaky, and, like, I think after this, we feel really confident. We feel like we found our groove. Like, just our win conditions and stuff like that, and our team comps and everything is finally coming together. But, like, in the previous weeks, I think Team Liquid had, you know, they had, like, really here and there and, like, on and off. So, oof, I hope we can beat FlyQuest. I see that they're on a really big downswing, and, like, we obviously are now, I guess, on an upswing because we finally won a game. So, we'll see what happens. I hope we can win.
All right, well, thank you very much, Doublelift. Congratulations on the victory, and we're going to send it to the desk to wrap up the series.
Thank you very much, Jad. Definitely not the way anyone expected this series to fall.
I predicted it. What do you mean?
That's true. Actually,
there's a
I
graphic
take it all back.
I saw
That's
tweet
right.
at
We've
me.
got
I got
video
it right.
evidence of Jad and Mark making the right call earlier today.
It's obvious to any analyst.
Team Liquid over TSM here in 2-1 fashion. I mean, that's just a huge victory, as was already mentioned, in terms of keeping Team Liquid's hopes of avoiding the promotion tournament entirely alive, right? Destiny is in their own hands in terms of winning tomorrow to tie themselves up with Echo Fox at the very least.
I mean, if you can say anything about this split, it's like, don't take anything for granted. Echo Fox 4-4. I think at the end of week 4, they're looking great. They have an explosive early game, fixed a couple things, and then out of nowhere, they're potentially facing relegations for the 2nd split in a row. TL, you think they look abysmal. All of a sudden, they have a chance to get out. Like, this is not something you can take anything for granted. Even in the top end, like C9 and TSM, their stories are crazy as well now.
Right, and while there's smiles on all the faces of the Team Liquid players, you look across the rift at our #1 team that just got taken down by the 9th place team. And once again, it speaks to the parity. You know, we go back to this over and over again where nothing is for certain in the North American LCS, but the expectation of TSM in week 9 of a regular season is so much higher than losing to a 9th place team.
I think the big thing is that this is the first time that game 1 loss really came back and bit them in the butt, because we've been saying all year long, like, oh, they lose game 1s and they bounce back, and other than maybe that Echo Fox series, like, for the most part, they're fine. And this is the first time where it's really like, they should not lose to this team. Game 1 was they just got rolled by, Rainover, and that's where it tends to happen. Is Sven seems like asleep in game 1s and tends to lose those pretty hard.
Yeah.
And that's what happened in game 1. And then game 3, Team Liquid picks a couple fights. They're able to find a couple favorable situations to get ahead in the game, and then they sneak a Baron, and it's kind of like, whoa, we're losing this game all of a sudden.
Right, and guess what? The way that they build their leads or even give themselves opportunities to win this game is through the bot lane and Doublelift right now. Attention, as you mentioned, from Rainover to the bot lane. Let's take a look at this 15:30 into the game. 3 for 1 here for Team Liquid.
And that's where a lot of the positive plays for Team Liquid start, is the combination of Doublelift and Rainover. They get to pick on the turtle there, and then they do a really good job kiting out from here. This is the important thing, is that Doublelift is able to dodge that Mantra Q. Matt's there to give him the wild growth before he gets crit and he gets any kind of combo follow-up from Svenskeren. Sven has to run away. Bjergsen's late into the fight. Doublelift is out of it. Now, Bjerg doesn't have a great target on the backside. Rainover's cleaning up a couple kills. And then from here, the damage dealers are dead. There's no way for them to really win this fight. Haunter does his best, is able to get a couple of cleanup kills with the help of Biofrost as well, but eventually Biofrost is going to go down and ends up being, I think, a total 5 for 1, and that's really what brought TL back in the game. It got the Goldie really close to even, and then finally they were able to sink that Baron just a little bit later. And after that, I mean, they got into this crazy trade situation. TSM lost all their turrets.
That's the thing. I mean, it still obviously wasn't the most clean win for Team Liquid. After that solid fight there, we saw them hand a few kills back, really stall out the game and give TSM many opportunities to pull their way back into it. And of course, if you're going to look at an underperforming lane for Team Liquid, is still that mid lane. Piglet struggling in that Talia versus Vladimir matchup quite a bit, but being covered for by the bot lane itself.
And to be fair to Piglet, he got smashed in lane, but he actually had pretty good damage in the teamfight contribution you see there. And Talia is a champion, relatively hard to play in teamfights, so it was very impressive that he was able to get out that much damage, given the horrible early game that we saw for him in the second game in a row.
But the thing is, the focus for this entire series was on that bot lane. That's what we had questions about coming into the day, very specifically Doublelift versus Wild Turtle. And you kind of as a pseudo tryout for Summer Split TSM ADC. What's the verdict,
I mean,
Mark?
Doublelift wins the tryout. If this was some kind of open tryout, Doublelift came out way ahead. You see his CS and gold differentials vastly in his favor.
Right.
And it wasn't just that, like, okay, he's winning lane. They're giving him a lot of resources. Obviously, Reignover made more attempts down there than Svenskeren, you can say. But in the mid and late game, Doublelift was able to make plays like this to stall the game out and even win them some of those games. So you see that this is something that you can say would help TSM a lot, give them a lot of extra pressure in their bot lane.
Right.
He eventually might go back there, but for now, Team Liquid's going to be the benefactors of that kind of playmaking that not many other AD carries seem to have in the league right now.
I do think, though, that what you did see very clear stylistic differences still, which is that Wild Turtle on the Ashe, and even in some cases still going for the Essence Reaver build. So playing that utility style as opposed to some of the newer Bork builds that we're seeing on Ashe where it's higher DPS and more carry-oriented. So definitely still a clash of two styles. And as you mentioned, Doublelift set up in a way for more carry potential and might be part of why he looked better. But at the end of the day, the stats were there and the W comes through. So you have to give it, you know, as a win to Doublelift in the AD carry versus AD carry match.
Yeah, it's basically saying, look, you can still carry through bot lane, and Doublelift just proved it. Like, you know, I will be an asset to any team that I end up on in the summer split.
Right, so no surprise player of the game going to Doublelift, although we do, again, have to give nods to Reignover and even Lorlo in this case. They are the supporting cast to the Doublelift carry in this series.
Yeah, Lorlo in particular, being able to survive on that kind of 4-man, 5-man gank that happened right after they got the Baron buff is what helped blow that game open, though it's not like a clean play necessarily, but buying enough time, surviving long enough that they're able to turn back and eventually pick up a kill while the rest of the team is split pushing, mowing down turrets.
Right, so what does this mean, though, right? Okay, great. Victory comes through for Team Liquid. What does this mean in the grand scheme of things? All right, well, with that win, they tie in match record with Echo Fox. Echo Fox still left to play today, and we'll see how that series ends up. If they are able to win tomorrow, along with a Fox win here, they get 8th place because of the fact that they have a 1-to-1 head-to record, so you move to game win percentage. Team Liquid has the better game win percentage, and that cannot be matched by Echo Fox. There is still also a 3-way tie possibility that makes all of that a heck of a lot more confusing. And again, we're just going to have to cross that bridge when they get there. But the big thing here is that the expected loss out of Team Liquid today is what made their quest for, you know, avoiding promotion tournament so difficult. You've got that win under your belt now. So again, it's back in your hands. You, to some degree, have your destiny in your hands. If you just get this win tomorrow, oh my goodness, miracle run out of relegation.
Yeah, I mean, when we saw, you know, second half of the last 2 or 3 weeks, whatever it was, when we pulled up the strength of schedule remaining for Team Liquid, they had the hardest one, and it was like, oh, well, they're pretty much destined for relegations based off their level of play and the level of opponents they had to face. But they're able to claw their way back, and at the same time, TSM, what we thought was a shoo-in for the #1 seed. What? Now there's a world where they lose it.
Yeah, TSM playing Phoenix 1 tomorrow, so their schedule gets no easier. This is the game they should have won. Tomorrow, a little less certain. But yes, with this loss, that does put them within striking distance of Cloud9 if Cloud9 is able to win this game and TSM loses tomorrow. So, of course, a few things have to fall in C9's favor. But again, crazy to think that even the first seed has yet to be decided going into Sunday, the final day of the regular season.
I mean, it's been a crazy split beyond just like how close all the teams are. There's Meteos joining on, Dark Meteos, like all the storylines this season have been absolutely insane. I can't think of any other split like this.
Yep, C9 Phoenix 1 taking place over on NA LCS 1 at the moment. Stay tuned over here, though, on NA LCS 2 because there's more League of Legends coming up with Echo Fox taking on Team Envy right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Guys, they're gonna
They're going. Yeah, they're on me.
Can I go?
Ringer. Ringer's dead.
Front line. I'm on knock.
We're on front line.
I'm on knock.
Nice.
We
Looking
can
up.
chase, we can chase,
Vlad,
we can chase.
Vlad.
I'm Wing Vlad, kill Vlad, kill Vlad. Now, kill him now.
Kill Vlad now. Okay.
We did it.
We fucking did it, yo!
I'm going top. Good.
What an upset! TSM will fall to Team Liquid 2-1.